Hi, I just made this video on my wealth plan and an index to help me execute my wealth plan. Um, and I had two objectives in making this video. One was to share what I was doing, so if it was useful for other people, they could use it. And the second was that if someone who saw this video was uh, trying to find multi-baggers or was using covered options and wanted to discuss strategies or share notes, then they could do that. So with that, let me tell you a little bit about who I am. So I'm 63 years old, I'm retired, and I want to double my wealth in US dollars every 5 years after living expenses. So that's a 15% CAGR. And given that the CAGR is high, and I also want to do this after all living expenses and actually taxes, so all expenses, then that's a very ambitious goal. But that's okay. If I don't get there, that's fine, but at least I can set an ambitious goal. Now, the wealth index, which will be basically just my wealth as it stands now. So in 2020, it'll be indexed to 1. By 2025, I want it to be 2. By 2030, I want it to be 4. And then I want to actually reduce it to 1 by setting up a foundation and donating some of the wealth. Because I do have enough wealth already. So I'm kind of doing this because I want to create this foundation which will work on universal prosperity. And then again, the cycle will repeat till 2040. So I've got a planning horizon of 83. So I don't know if I'll live till 83 or I'll live beyond that, but just that's my planning horizon. Okay, so if I build my wealth plan and index, then if I know where I want to go and have an accurate compass, the chances I will get there increase. So that is why I'm doing this wealth plan and the index. So executing the plan. So what I plan to do is to try and find multi-baggers. So I want to find themes that are likely to win in the next 5 years. And then again, I'll do the same exercise at the end of 5 years. And then within those themes, try and find the companies that are likely to win. And I'm doing this in the markets of India and the US, which are the markets I invest in. So it's quite possible that some of these may be companies in other markets, but if they have listed in the US, then they will also be available for me to invest in. Then I want to also do covered options. So I would be using covered calls or cash covered puts to enhance my returns. And those could take care of the living expenses and taxes. And then if I just get a plain return of 15% on the stocks, so if the stocks double, then my wealth should also double. So fairly simple plan. Now, there were many things that I discarded, and others may want to use those, but I just said, okay, I could be just doing a plain S&P 500 or Nifty index ETFs, not bother with trying to pick multi-baggers, trying to do covered options, etc. But I kind of discarded that for the moment, at least. Then speculation like Bitcoins or other kind of things, or currency derivatives or commodities or real estate or day trading or complex options like iron condors and other kind of straddles and various other strategies around options. I also discarded value investing, where you were kind of looking at something which had fallen a lot, and then you were hoping that it will revert back to the mean. So you were hoping to pick up things which were cheap and realize value that way. I also discarded things like special situations, structured products, PMS, and venture investing. Now, I'm not saying that these are bad, but for the moment, I have discarded these things. So I will zigzag if required, because I do realize that if I just follow a direction where I say I'm just going to only do multi-baggers and covered options, then there may be swamps along the way and I may fall into those. So I may want to zigzag um, as I try to reach my destination. Now, the call to action for me, as well as that may be a call to action for you, was that most people track the Nifty or the Sensex or the Nasdaq or the S&P 500, which are basically indexes. So I said that why not build and track an index for my wealth? So that's what I have ended up doing. And I've set a plan and I will use that index to help me execute. So it could also help you execute. You could build an index for your wealth. So that's all. Thank you very much for listening.